without further ado, the first edition of the NFL tiers. Take it away.
And that's why I have a slight wardrobe change, a slight hair change, because when in this mode, I am representing the views of the committee. So if anyone sees a clip like this and my hair is pulled back, you can be like, Nick, you said no. The committee said I am the vessel for the committee. Reveal the bottom rung. Teams that we don't care about. We can almost already eliminate them. These are 9 teams that have no chance to make the postseason. There they are. 2 of them made the postseason last year. Doesn't matter. Or one of them did, the Patriots. They're out. We don't need to worry about them. All right. Tough out. Bottom rung of the tiers. A lot of debate on the committee here. Each of these teams had a different committee member argue they were going to make the postseason. I argued Jags and Panthers would make it. There were some Steelers like, hey, did they actually get better at quarterback from decrepit Ben Roethlisberger to Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett? The Commanders have a little bit of buzz thanks to Carson Wentz's regular season success. We know some people believe in the Saints defense, and Brew is a big Tua believer.
Yes.
They're tough outs. At least one, probably 2 of these teams make the playoffs, but not good enough to be on the next rung, which is regression season. 4 teams that all made the playoffs last year, that all should be competitive this year, but none of which will make the playoffs this year. For the Dallas Cowboys, the first place schedule, plus the loss of Amari Cooper, the injury to Michael Gallup, all of it's too much. For the Titans, loss of A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry post-Jones fracture, and the hangover of Ryan Tannehill's playoff game. The Raiders division, just too much, we apologize. And for the Cardinals, no Nuke Hopkins for 6 games, and too much Cliff Kingsbury for at least 16 games. Next, too much hype. Teams that should be good, but way too hyped. The Bucs. Wow. Listen, Tom Brady. You guys, some of you believe in the Bucs more than Tom Brady does. The Broncos have a rookie head coach and a YouTuber at quarterback. The Eagles. I'm sorry, they do. Look it up. The Eagles. Listen, I like the Eagles to win the division, but these folks saying they could be the 1 seed in the NFC. Come on. It's Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. There's a ceiling there, just like there's a ceiling to the Vikings with Kirk Cousins quarterback. Should be good, can't be great. All right, get over the hump. These teams could all make the Super Bowl, but they got to get over the hump. The Bills, we know what the hump is. It does a great regular season, great offense. Josh Allen throw the ball out of the stadium. What he can't do is go to a particular stadium, namely Arrowhead, in the January and win a football game. Green Bay, what's the hump? The NFC Championship game. Bengals, are they going to have a Super Bowl hangover? That roster is loaded. And the Colts. Could this be the best quarterback Frank Reich's ever had? I think so. Can they get over the hump and finally be on the field the team they've been on paper? Next group, Super Bowl caliber. Wouldn't shock me if any of these teams are in the Super Bowl. The Ravens. They dealt with devastating injuries all of last year. They will have far better injury luck this season, and a motivated Lamar, either because he got paid or because he's going to get paid. The Chargers, on paper, have the most talented roster in the NFL. Top to bottom, they have more stars than any team in the NFL. And then, of course, there's the Rams, the team that's underdogs at home to start the season, who all they did last year was win the Super Bowl. That leads us to the number 1 contenders, the San Francisco 49ers. Devastating defense. Devastating running game. That'll be the best that Kyle Shanahan's ever had because he now has a quarterback who can execute that running game. Deebo Samuel under contract. Brandon Ayuk having his best camp ever. George Kittle is the 2nd best tight end still looming out there. And by the end of the year, they will have a better quarterback than they have had at any point in the Shanahan era. By the end of the year, once Trey Lance starts under his belt. And that leaves one team only. The committee says it's
what a surprise.
Wow. They win 12 games every year.
Wow. The Chiefs?
They win 12 games every year, at least. They host the AFC. The AFC, I don't know if it's been reported. I don't know if it's embargoed. But they're considering renaming the AFC Championship game the Arrowhead Invitational. It's there every single year. We all know they have the best coach-quarterback combo in football. But right now, given that Belichick is, in his silver years, do they have the single best coach in football and the single best quarterback in football? They might. They have a young, hungry defense. And have you heard that? Frank Clark? Oh, the old Frank Clark could be back. The Chiefs, and they're underdogs now? Ooh, feels like the favorites. Brew? It's the committee's tiers. I don't know why it says Knicks. It's the committee's, but I'm proud to represent them. Your thoughts?
Excellent.
Nick, I was hoping in the offseason there'd be more improvement from the committee. Oh, I was looking for growth. I didn't look. I'm not going to even jump on the Chiefs. We all knew that was coming. Okay, I get that. Did I miss? Was there breaking news this morning that Kyle Shanahan had named Jimmy G as the starting quarterback? Because that's the only way that they can be listed as the #1 contender.
Your hand's wiping across my
I'm sorry, I'm shocked at this. Okay, so I got a problem with the top of it, but I'm going to focus on one team.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say 2 words to let you know, America, what team I'm going with. Let's ride.
Oh!
Let's ride! All right, the Denver Broncos, how dare you say there is too much hype? I mean, do you understand who Russell Wilson is? You call him a YouTuber. No, what he is a guaranteed playoff quarterback. That's what he does. I mean, last year he's banged up. You can't blame him for that.
Guaranteed to work.
He has gone into Denver. He's gone into Denver Wilds, and from day one, he took leadership of that franchise.
True.
He made everyone in that franchise, from the wide receivers to the position coaches to the boys in the mailroom, believe that they could win a Super Bowl. That's what he does. And he and Nathaniel Hackett, Hackett worked wonders. I know Matt LaFleur got all the credit, but Hackett was the offensive coordinator up there in Denver with Aaron Rodgers.
What was Rodgers before Nathaniel Hackett?
Just some guy. No, but he had a couple down years, though, and all of a sudden he skyrocketed again with Nathaniel Hackett. It is, I'm telling you, it is one. I'm not saying they're going to be the worst to first team this year, because there'll be one, right? There usually is. Because I respect the Chiefs maybe winning the division. But Denver is not too much hype. They are going to be a factor in who gets to the Super Bowl in the AFC.
Woo. Well, yeah, maybe they can play spoiler at the end of the year. I'm not sure. I got to look at their schedule. Listen, I give the Broncos this. They might, for the first time in 6 years, finish above 500. They might, with this record, have finally pull ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars as far as record in the AFC over the last 6 years. They might do it. I'm not sure, but they might do it. Greg, go ahead.
All right. Look, I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm not going to even go down the entire barrage of information that I can
Greg,
give.
keep in mind, you're very close to a committee invite.
I am. I'm trying to figure out who took my place, because I was on the committee. Clearly I am not, because there would have been some backlash on what we see. But anyway.
What's your issue?
The Saints?
Oh, they're not even on the
The New Orleans Saints, look.
I like it.
Brew, last year you had a dark horse, and Jameis Winston, and we all laughed.
Yeah.
Not this year, though.
Silly.
Wow, my man.
The New Orleans Saints retooled their offense. You get Michael Thomas back. You obviously are getting Jameis Winston back. You have you acquired Jarvis Landry. You have a young guy, Chris Olave. Oh, did I fail to mention that Alvin Kamara is still the man in the backfield? Like the New Orleans Saints, a team who could very well win their division, you have them listed down here. What is this?
Tough out.
Tough out?
Yeah.
They're more like a get over the hump situation.
Ooh, yes.
Because if they get over that Tampa Bay Buccaneer hump, we have, in my opinion, Super Bowl representation.
All right.
I like it, Greg.
All right.
That was a lot.
Okay, so 2 things quickly. Your first one is you left out 2 very important people. The first one is one of the most expensive backup tight ends in NFL history, Taysom Hill. How are you going to list all the weapons and not talk about the tiny Taysom that could?
We laugh about Taysom Hill, but he makes plays.
Yeah.
He's a
sometimes
football player.
for both teams. Like it's sometimes for the Saints, sometimes for the
As long as
opposition.
he's not at
The other name you didn't mention was Dennis Allen, otherwise known as, from a record standpoint, the 4th worst coach in the history of professional football. It dates back 77 years. Was this 75th anniversary? That was the NBA. 101 years. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is 4th worst, 8-28 in his career. So that's a concern. Wilds, however, I'm going to say this on behalf of the committee. If the Saints make the Super Bowl, Greg Jennings becomes committee member emeritus.
Hey!
Wow. He's on there if they make the Super Bowl.
I will take it.
Yep. Wilds, your thoughts?
Well, in the words of DJ Khaled, it breaks my heart You didn't believe in us, committee. I am here to put the Patriots back on the tiers. Put them right near the Colts. Oh, it's the baby goat. Captain Baby Goat, I might add. And to celebrate the return of tiers, we're also bringing the return of Wild's petition. Let's see the first petition to move the Patriots up. First one, baby goat progress. Earlier in the show, Greg Jennings said, Wilds, what has Tom Brady, miniature Tom Brady, what has Mac Jones done that makes you think he got better? I don't know, lifting awesome weights and looking very beautiful in a heather gray shirt. You lucky he's not from Minnesota, Greg, or he would challenge you for the all-natural Minnesota title that Dane is breathing down your neck. Wait till you see this next picture. Him through a car. Oh my gosh, Greg. Woo, he looks great. We got a lot of workout videos, but if we have that still photo, let's run it. If not, we'll move on to number 2, which is Patriots' stout defense. You know, there was a lot of talk, Broussard, about the offense struggling. Are you sure it's just not that the Patriots' defense was very, very good? Oh, no, you lost J.C. Jackson.
Yes,
he's not even going to play week 1. Well, I don't know. Ever heard of next man up? It's only been working for 2 decades for Bill Belichick. And then finally, Belichick versus rookie head coaches. I'm not going to go through the whole 17-week schedule, every single game that the Patriots may or may not win. I'm going to focus on week 1 with the Patriots in Miami. They're already there because you know what we're doing? Prepping that heat and humidity. Here's Belichick's record against rookie head coaches. Looks pretty good to me, 47-16. How do you feel, Mike McDaniel, going up against the greatest coach of all time? Here's another stat. He's undefeated when he's playing a rookie coach making their debut. Now, granted, it's 1-0 with Doug Marrone. But regardless, he is undefeated. So for those following reasons, Mac Jones' progress, a great defense, and the greatest coach of all time in the history of organized sports, I would like the Patriots to move up the tiers.
Listen, I'm going to take the ponytail out because I'm going to say this not as the committee chair, but as Nick Wright. Wild.
Yes?
You're going to be so mad at me. I got to tell America something. Wild's a little nervous about Belichick. Ooh. He saw Belichick like at a press conference being like, hey, Chris Berman's here. How's it going, buddy? And then he saw Belichick wearing a UFC belt like you're kind of
he's still locked in.
Uncomfortable great uncle at like Christmas. It's like, hey, look at me, kids.
He's locked in. He had sandals on.
Did Belichick send the team to Miami 5 days early to acclimate to the weather? Or was he trying to get a little, time in the sun? Wild's a little concerned. And so I understand that right now you're making it all about the baby goat. But there are some concerns that the fastball and the slider and the curveball all left town with one dimpled Tom Brady.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.